What are your verbs doing? Verbs are the creative writer's best friends. There are a lot of different ways that you can use a verb. Verbs are like your blending brushes as you're creating a feeling in your sentences. Verbs are the motor, they're the action, they're the doing, they're the change agent. Your story is about change, so paying attention to the way you use verbs is going to be really important. Take a look at your draft. Go through with just a focus on verbs. When you see verbs that end in ing, circle them. There are two ways that a verb that ends in ing might be presenting itself. The one that I want you to pay attention to are the verbs that feel like they are continually in action. She's sitting, he's dancing, they're laughing. These verbs feel like they kind of have a revving engine. Purpose, the point of this form is to create a sense of continuous action. This is something you want to be able to use to effect sometimes, maybe. Sometimes, especially in early drafts, we write a lot of sentences that have these kind of continuous action verbs because we don't really know what the story is about even yet. So it's a way for us to write about action without having to decide anything. This is fine. Know that when your reader is reading a scene that has a lot of continuous action verbs in it, it's hard for them to get purchase and to understand what actually happened. It keeps us in a nebulous space where something is happening and it just kind of, the energy feels like we're in the flow. It might feel weirdly like nothing is ever happening, even though they're right in the middle of the action all the time. What's happening here is energetic. Your reader is holding the energy of the continuous action in their psyche. It hasn't come to a still point yet. It hasn't come to rest. And the effects of that action have not yet been given a place in the story. So your reader is holding all of that ambivalence and the potential for change in her psyche. If you want to create a clear sense of something having happened, pay attention to your verbs. It doesn't matter if it's present tense, she picks a flower, or if it's past tense, she picked the flower. Something happened. After you use a verb, you have created a change. Over time, those points of micro change, verb to verb to verb, gives a feeling and a sense of something happening. It's the story that your reader gets to connect the dots to make. It's the meaning that we create out of reading your sentences. I'm simplifying here. But on a granular level, if we're looking at the fractal of a sentence and how that becomes a larger fractal, which is a novel, the verb is the change agent. So making sure you use them on purpose, the way you want, to create the energy and the effect that you want, both in the story for the characters and also for your reader, energetically, the better your scenes will be.